Hello and welcome to today's health lesson. So first of all, guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our lap, and close our eyes. And when you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. And next we'll do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we'll begin by stretching up high to the sky. And then we'll go down low, touch our toes. Now we can go back up high again. And this time, can we go tippy toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave. And then back down to touch our toes. And then let's stand up straight. Hands on hips, and we'll have a wiggle, side to side. Wiggle, side to side. Stop, and then another wiggle, side to side. Stop, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, and stop. And then we'll go round and round. Round and round, and stop. And we go back the other way. Stretch our spines before we sit back down. And stop. And to finish, guys, we'll do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Have a seat. So in today's health lesson, we're going to be learning about us. Yes, what are we, guys? People. You are students. I'm not a student. I'm a teacher. But together, we are people. And the generic term that we use for people, humans. Okay, so let's write that word on the board first. Humans, H-U-M-A-N-S. Humans. Okay, guys. So who can tell me some facts about us? Who can tell me anything they know about humans? Yes, okay. A baby is a type of human. And a baby is a very early type of human. Very early in life, we are babies. But thinking about us, guys, what do we have in common? How many heads do we have? One head. One head. How many arms? Two arms. Arms. A-R-M-S. How many legs? Two legs. Two legs. And how many bodies do we have? How many bodies, guys? One body. So these are characteristics that we all have in common. Let me write one body. O-N-E, and then body. So all together, guys, humans have one head, two arms, two legs, and one body. These are characteristics that we all share. But do we all look the same? Are we all identical, or do we look different? Yes, we look different sometimes. In what way do we look different? How are we different, guys? How are humans different? Are we the same color? No, we can be different color. Different color. How about size? Are we all the same size? No, we are different size. And can anybody tell me anything else about humans that makes us different? Different face. Yes, we all look different. Do we all have the same hair? Do I have the same hair as you guys? No. No. Different hair. How about eyes? Same eyes? No. You see, we can be different too. Different. Different hair and different eyes. So you see, as humans, we have some things that we all have in common. We share some characteristics. One head. How many arms? Two arms. How many legs? How many bodies? You see, all of us in this room and most people on the planet all share this. But are we sometimes different color? Yes. Am I the same color as you guys? No. Different size? Yes. I'm not the same size as you. I'm taller because I'm older. How about hair? Different. How about eyes? Different. And the main way they're different, color. But what we're going to focus on today, we're going to focus on this reason why we're different. Different size. And we're going to show how different size has relation to different age. Yes, am I the same age as you guys? Am I 9 years old? No, I am older, and that's why I am bigger. I am something that we call adult. Yes, and you guys are in the stage where you are children. And what these are different stages of human growth and development. And in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at the various stages, right from earliest when we're born until the end of our life cycle when we die. We're going to look at the different age stages of human growth and development. But that was excellent, guys. Really well done. And what we've got now, we've got a PowerPoint and video presentation so that we can learn a little bit more about human stages of growth and development, and a video presentation too. So let's turn to look at the TV screen, guys. Let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation, Stages of Human Growth and Development. Yes, you can see in our picture here, guys, that we've got different stages of growth and development. Right from the earliest stage of being a baby to the later stage when we're old. So let's take a look together at the different stages. When we grow, we follow a pattern according to our age. Yes, when we're born, we're very small. And then what happens as we get older, we grow. Our bodies get bigger and we get taller. But only up until a certain point. Once we reach a certain age, our growing stops. We become fully developed. And then actually what happens as we start to get older, we start to get smaller again. Our skeleton becomes curved and we lose weight. So we give the appearance, when we reach into old age, that we start getting smaller. This is the same person at different stages of her life. So you can see how first we grow and get bigger, and then we begin to get smaller. So let's take a look at the different stages. We experience physical changes and also mental, social, and spiritual changes. Yes, what this means is that not only are we changing on the outside, our bodies grow and develop, but we change on the inside too. Our minds grow, our spirits change, we become more mature as we have more life experience. Generally, we go through 5 stages of growth and development. And you can see them 5 stages here. Infancy, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and old age. This is what we call the human growth curve. Yes, the different stages of our life cycle. Stage 1. And this is when we've just been born. This is the stage we call infancy. Yes, this is when we're very, very young. We can't do anything for ourselves. We require constant care and attention. And this period of our life is from when we're born to around 2 years old. And then the next stage, childhood. Now, childhood is quite a long stage of our life. It begins at around 2 years old and carries on until we're 12 years old. But childhood is made up of 3 different stages of its own. We have early childhood. This is when we're still quite young. We can do some things ourselves and we begin to speak, but not very well. This stage of our life is around 2 to 3 years old. Then, after early childhood, we have play age. This is the age when we're around 4 or 5 years old. We can begin to do lots of things for ourselves. We can walk independently, we can speak a lot more, and we can do more things for ourselves, such as eat and drink. And then we reach the stage of life which you guys all are now. School age. Yes, and school age lasts from around 6 to 12 years old. How old are you guys now? 9 years old. So you see, you are in the stage of your lives, childhood, that we call school age. because you're going to school. But then, after school age, after the age of 12, we reach another stage of our lives. Does anybody know what that stage is? Adolescence. Yes. Now, adolescence is a term you might be more familiar with the other word, teenagers. Yes. Teenager and adolescence is the same age. You can see it goes from 13 to 18 years old. Now, adolescence is the period of our lives when our bodies change the most. Adolescence is the period when we change from children into adults, and our bodies change a lot on the outside and the inside. We change from boys and girls to men and women. And then the next stage of life after adolescence is adulthood. Yes, and adulthood is the main and usually the biggest stage of our life. Adulthood lasts from when we are 19 to 60 years old. And adulthood is when we reach the stage of life when we can do everything by ourselves. We don't need anybody's permission. We are adults already. We can visit other countries, we can drive cars and other vehicles, and we can work legally. Everything we can do as an adult. Whereas when we're children, we need permission to do things. When we reach adulthood, we can do everything by ourselves, and we are already fully grown. But then, once we reach the age of 60, and into the latter stages of our life, we reach old age.
Old age.
Yes. And this is the final stage of our life. It's when we are older than 60. And it goes on for however long we live for. There's nothing after old age, because unfortunately, the next thing is death. Like all living things, we will die. But hopefully, not until we're very, 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 very old. And when you're old, you still have many things that you can do. You have more free time, because when you're old age, you stop working. So you have lots of free time to visit friends and do activities, like we see here in the picture. All of these old people are at an old person's club painting. So just because you're old, don't think it's the end of your life, because it can be the beginning of many things. Welcome back to class. We hope you enjoyed the video and the PowerPoint presentations so that our students can begin to understand how, as we were born and until we grow old, we go through different stages of our lives, from when we're very small until we're very old. And we'll be doing some more work with this soon with a flashcard exercise. But for now, it's time for our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs, guys. And for this sequence, we'll have a game of Teacher Says. So listen carefully. If Teacher says, we can do. If Teacher doesn't say, don't do. Okay? So, hands on head. Teacher says, touch your knees. Teacher says, touch your shoulders. Teacher says, arms in the air. Arms down. Teacher says, arms down. Teacher says, turn around. And turn back the other way. Not here. Teacher says, back the other way. And now, walking on the spot. Teacher says, walking on the spot. Stop. Teacher says, jogging on the spot. Stop. Teacher says, stop. Teacher says, arms up. Teacher says arms down. Teacher says arms up. Arms down. Teacher says arms down. Arms up. Teacher says one arm up, one arm down. Teacher says swap. Teacher says swap. Swap. Swap, swap, swap. Teacher says arms down. And teacher says into a little ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teacher says jump. Excellent, guys. And teacher says sit down. And teacher says it's now time for our flashcard exercise. So teachers, what you'll need to do for this exercise is to print out the pictures of all the different stages of our lives. And what we're going to do is we're going to give our students a different picture each, starting with the earliest stage of our life, right the way through to the oldest. And we'll have our students bring the pictures forward, put them on the board, and write that stage of life underneath the picture. And then we can help by writing the age categories too. But first of all, we need our title. So we're going to be doing the human life cycle. So human, H-U-M-A-N. Human. That's us. Life. L-I-F-E. And then cycle. C-Y-C-L-E. Human life cycle. Okay, so now I'll ask my students to close their eyes. When they wake up, one of them will have a picture. It will be the earliest stage of our life. And let's see if our student can remember what that stage of life is called. Okay, so our first student has his flashcard. Net, come and join me at the front of class. And don't worry too much if we don't get the terms exactly right, as long as we're almost there. What can we see here, guys? Baby. Yes, this is a baby. So what stage of life do we think the baby is at? Infant. Excellent. So Net, first thing to do is right over here, stage 1. And now we're going to help Net spell this stage of life underneath. Infant, guys. Okay, so I, N, F, A, N, T. Net, that's perfect. So all together, guys, stage 1, infant. Infant. Net, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Net, guys. Okay, so that stage of our life, stage 1, infant, lasts from when we're born, 0, until around 2 years. And then we need to look at the next stage, stage number 2. So let's close our eyes again, guys. Okay, and now we're on to the next stage of our life. We've got Nadia to come forward and show us her flashcard. Excellent. So now Nadia will have the flashcard to show you. What stage of life do we move into next, guys, after infant? We become child or children. Yes, we are a child. So Nadia, you can place the flashcard in the next position. Perfect. And now we'll help Nadia to spell child or children. It's up to you. C, H, I, L, D. Perfect, Nadia. So there we have child. When we reach this stage of our life, we are a child. Nadia, perfect. High five and a big round of applause for Nadia, guys. Okay, so now we've reached the stage of our life when we're a child. So infant is 0 to 2 years, Child is around 3 to 12 years. Okay, and now we're on to the next stage of our life. So let's see who can bring this picture forward for us. So teachers, you can see the activity that we're doing in our classroom now. We're having our students bring out the different pictures which represent the different life stages. And then they have to write that stage of life underneath the picture. And then we can help by giving an explanation of the age categories. So pause the video now and play on with your students for around 10 minutes or so and choose a different student each time. And we're going to carry on here. So who's next? Next stage of our human life cycle. So Pat, can you bring the flashcard forward? And let's see if we can remember what the next stage of our human life cycle is. We've had infant, child, and next we are, what comes after child? After you are children, teenagers, yes. The stage of life we heard about called adolescence. Well, what that means is that we are all teenagers. So, Pat, it's over to you. Can you write the term teenager on the board? Just here. T-E-E-N. A-N, yes. A-G-E-R. Perfect. The stage of our life after we are a child, we are a teenager. Yes, that's what you'll be next, guys. Now you are children, but when you finish being children, you will be teenager. And teenager comes between 13 and 18 years. Well, Pat, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Pat, please, guys. And now for the next stage in our human life cycle. What happens after we finish being teenagers? What comes next? So let's see if Chu can help us to find out. Chu, bring your flash picture to the front of class. Okay. So now we can see the next stage of our human life cycle. What happens after we're teenagers, guys? I'll give you a clue. It's the stage of life I am at now. What am I? Am I a baby? I am adult. Excellent. So Chu, you can place it in the next column here. Perfect. And now, Chu, can you write the phrase or the word adult underneath? A-D. Excellent, Chu. U. Perfect. L-T. Chu, that's excellent. Well done. So, Chu has correctly written the next stage in our life cycle. What do we have, guys? After teenager, we have adult. So teenager ends at 18. Adult begins at 19 and carries on until around 60 years. So you can see this is the age category I am at now, adult. Chu, that was brilliant. High five. Big round of applause for Chu, guys. Okay, and now we're on to our final cycle, or our final stage in an adult life cycle. So let's see who can do the final one. Okay, so now it's Dawn's turn to come forward and show us her flash picture. Let's see if we can tell what the final stage of life is. What can we see, guys? Can we see young people? No. What are they? Old people. So what we call this is a stage of life where we simply say old age. Yes, men and women reached after 60 old age. So Dawn, can you place it on the board? Very good. And then, can you write the term old age under the picture? And I'll give you the arrow first. Old, O-L-D. And then age, A-G-E. Perfect. Old age. All together, guys. Old age comes when we reach the age 60 plus. Yes, old age carries on until however old we are when we die. Hopefully we're very, very, very old. But any age over 60 is old age. Dan, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Dan, please, guys. Okay, we've got our 5 main stages on the board now. Infant, child, teenager, adult, old age. But we're not quite finished yet, because we're going to go back to the part of our lives when we're children, your age now, because childhood is broken up into 3 different categories. Okay, so we have 3 more pictures to show, and let's see if our students can remember the different stages of childhood, because we have very young children, and then we have children about your age who are starting to get a little bit older, and you're not the same. So we have to show how you're different. So more pictures, guys. Okay, so now it's Prau's turn to bring her flash picture forward. Prau, come and join me at the front, please. Okay, now here we can see children. Yes? Yes, we can see children, but these children are still quite small. They're still quite young. And can anybody remember the term we give to this stage of childhood? We call this early childhood. Yes, because we're still very small. Not babies anymore, but still quite small. So we say early childhood. So Prau, can you place it in the first category here? Perfect. And then we're going to ask Prau to write early childhood. Thank you. Early, E-A-R-L-Y. And then childhood, H-I-L-D-H-O-O-D. Perfect. Proud, that's excellent. Well done. So you can see the first stage of childhood is early childhood. And early childhood will be around 3 to 4 years. Okay? So one more time, early childhood. Prau, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Prau, guys. But now what comes next? What comes when we reach the age of about 5 years old? It's not early childhood anymore. Correct. So now let's see who can do the next. And I think, because I heard Pak Bung say the word, I think we can give it to Pak Bung. Okay. So Pak Bung, you can come and you can bring the picture forward. So here we go. Can we see a child? Yes, but the child is getting to the age where she is, or he is ready to play. So Pak Bung, you can put it in the middle here. And we can say play age. This is the age of our childhood. And then age, A-G-E. Excellent. So this is the stage of our childhood when we can start acting more independently. We can play by ourselves. And this stage of childhood is around 5 years. Okay, so one more time, guys. Play age. Pak Bung, excellent. High five, big round of applause for Pak Bung, guys. And now, onto the final stage of childhood. And this is the stage all of you guys are at now. So not only are you children, you are also at this stage of childhood. And we're going to ask Lackow to bring her flashcard forward. And let's see if we can guess what age this is, guys. So let's have a look at Lackow's flashcard. And what can we see? School age, yes, because what can you see? Students, school children. This is the age of childhood which you're all at now when you're at school age. So Lackow, can you place the picture on the board? And then, can you write for me school age? School, S-C-H-O-O-L. And then age, perfect. School age. Excellent, Lackow. And school age comes from the age of 6 to 12 years. So all together, guys, one more time, school age. Perfect. Lackow, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Lackow. Okay, so now we've got all our stages of life on the board. Let's practice speaking one final time. Infant. Childhood. Early childhood. Play age. School age. And then teenager. And then after we're a teenager, we become adults. And then after adulthood, old age, which carries on until we die. So guys, that was brilliant. Very well done. And now it's time for our worksheet part of the lesson. And for this worksheet, what our students must do is they must use their scissors. They must cut out the 6 different stages of the girl's life. And what we have to do is, reading the story, start with the earliest picture and then move through the stages of life. So our students must cut out the pictures and start with the youngest picture, the baby, and then stick them as they get progressively older. So from 1, the youngest, to 6, the oldest. And what we can do too, we will practice reading the story together. So for this activity, scissors, and be careful with our students, guys. But what's the first thing to do? Write our names on top. And give our students around 10 minutes for this activity. So Chu, this one's for you. Rao, for you.
Thank you, Teacher.
You're welcome. Pat, for you. Nadia, for you. Ned, for you.
Thank you.
Down, for you. And if you have time, you can colour too. Yes.
Thank you.
Pak Bung, for you. Bang Bon, for you. And Lackow, for you. So first of all, guys, cut out the 6 pictures. And then, similar to how we've been doing in our human life cycle flash activity, start with the youngest, place that in number 1 when the girl is an infant or a baby, and then 2, 3, 4 as they get older. And then you'll be able to see the different stages of the girl's life. And boys, I'm sorry, it's only a girl's life cycle in the worksheet, but we can all do it. So any questions you have, guys, let me know. The first thing to do is cut out and attach the pictures. And then, with the time left over, you can colour. Excellent, Pak Bung. So see if you can tell which is the youngest stage of life. What picture to you represents the youngest? And if you can't remember, have a look at our stage of life on the board. When we're youngest, we're an infant or a baby. Perfect. Well done, Bang Pon. So now you can stick them, and if you have time, colour too. Pang Pon has successfully worked out the different stages already. That's brilliant, well done. So Net, which is the youngest? Which picture looks the youngest to you? Which is the first stage, number 1? Yes, the baby. And then number 2? Yes. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can do your own life cycle. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet activity where they had to cut out and colour the different stages of life in a girl. And as you can see, like this, the different stages of life will go from very young until very old. What we're going to do is we're going to practice reading the story together now. So are you ready, guys? First, a baby girl is born. After a few months, the baby learns how to crawl. And then becomes a toddler. Next, the toddler grows into a child. After a few years, the child grows into a teenager. Then, the teenager grows into an adult woman. As time goes on, the woman gets older and becomes elderly. And these are the different stages in the human life cycle. So that was excellent, guys. Very well done. And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. So we hope you've enjoyed it and had fun. And now, the different ages you'll be able to represent with the different life stages too. So we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. Can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you again soon.